It's round 6 of the FIA Formula 3 Championship here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria. It's time for qualifying. 30 minutes for the drivers to decide who is fastest. The top 12 get reversed as well for the sprint race. This is a very important session. Welcome to qualifying for FIA Formula 3 here at the Austrian Grand Prix. 30 minutes then for the drivers to find out who's hot and who's not as we come into it as well. Haven't eaten all day, now all of a sudden I've got hiccups. Someone explain how that happens before going live on air. Forlaroli leads the championship on 84 points. Browning's on 79, Mini on 72, Lindblad on 71 as well. It's a fascinating championship as we get ready for the green. Let's check in with our world feed. Chris McCarthy and Alex Brundles. The green light goes on.
But you never know, moving through 30 minutes of qualifying on the soft compound tyre here at the Red Bull.
And we saw a couple of drivers using that soft compound tyre earlier. Charlie Verse, one of two Austrian drivers competing this weekend, going fastest overall. Santiago Ramos, one of the three Trident drivers, also put the soft compound tyre on as well. Leo Fornaroli on track went the fastest of those using the hard compound tyre.
Yeah, Fornaroli keeping the hard compound. 121.1 was the best on the soft compound. That was Charlie Verts earlier on in his home race, of course. So going to be interesting to see what those drivers choose to do now in terms of the usage of the soft compound tyres. Obviously, they're further ahead through their allocation of 4 sets of those for the weekend than other drivers are. Going to be a tricky session as well in terms of traffic. When you run, it's going to be as important as putting the lap together here. We have some huge queues in that final sector of the lap, the last 2 corners, turns 9 and 10. Yes, you heard me, only 10 corners around the Red Bull Ring. It's the shortest lap of the year in terms of time, but not distance. But that does mean that drivers catch each other rather quickly, and you can get a lot of jostling for position in those final couple of corners of the lap.
And we're seeing that already, this jostling on the formation lap, if you like, in qualifying terms. The warm-up laps, you want to get yourself, for some, just to that front of the queue, I guess, to get a clear track, but then you might catch the tail end of that queue come the end of the lap because it's such a short lap.
Yeah, relatively calm for now, and that's because this is the build lap. Yeah, not too many turns, so not a lot of option for the drivers to put energy into the tyre on this build lap. That means they tend to have to do a couple of them. And, it's a relatively low abrasion surface here, relatively low energy surface, so it's a real challenge for drivers to put the energy into the tyre. You see them weaving relatively heavily there down the front straight. All three Tridents look going outline the stern and lap later than the field. So they're going to be looking to make sure they get themselves out of the traffic here and try to find themselves a clear space on track. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out strategically for them.
Well, we just have the one compound at a time, Formula 3, but some drivers earlier were using, as Alex explained to us, carryover hard compound tyre. We're all seeing them out on the Red Bull soft compound tyre this time, which is allocated for this round. As you mentioned, the Trident drivers coming out onto the sim.
If you're looking at that going right into the middle of the traffic, of course, everyone else will start to push, and they'll still be in their warm-up phase. So what they'll do is their build lap will drop them back into the gap that's behind the field when the rest of the field start their first push lap. So that's the way they found of just trying to settle almost through the run plan into the gap behind the field as it plays out. I'm interested by that. I've not seen that one before, so that's a nice piece of strategy. Let's see if it works out for them.
Yeah, and Leo Fornaroli, their championship leader, one of 5 drivers to go on pole position this year, 2 of those being Trident drivers, along with Santiago Ramos. Prima Racing taking 2 poles with Dino Beganovic and Gabriele Mini. Christian Mansell on pole position, a sitter for the 100th race last time out for ART Grand Prix, and they took pole here last year with Gregoire Saucy. We go on board with Luke Browning, sitting second in the championship, and we continue these build-up laps, Alex, with we're not used to seeing this many, I guess, but this is because, as you mentioned, it is just such a short lap.
It really is. So right now, Browning is feeling the grip underneath his fingertip, trying to work out when the car's ready to go, which end of the car he needs to add more energy to or take energy towards, and then he's looking around him to see where his gap is going to be. Is he going to have to drop back to try to find a gap out of the traffic, or is he going to have to try to force the driver ahead to push forwards into a space? He's going to pass the car ahead now, and now this is what we call quite a big gap in Formula 3 qualifying. Swallowed immediately, and Browning has decided to zoom through the field to try and get himself close to the front to mitigate risk on this early qualifying lap.
3 DRS zones around here. Will they be aiming for any sort of toe when they reach that last DRS zone?
Definitely so. Because of the altitude here, it is a reasonable altitude, 600 metres almost above sea level. You can tend to carry a bit more downforce, so the toe is ever useful. Boyer then looking for the inside, and drivers now really starting to find their gap as we open the first part of qualifying. These are the critical moments in terms of traffic management, and they're all over the road.
Yeah, look, it looks like a safety car restart, doesn't it, as we get ready to go. Mary Boyer and Kian Shields side by side with each other coming into ring curve, and now we get ready to go for the first push laps, and they'll go one by one, full gas coming down through turn 10 into the final corner and down the start-finish straight, where you can see those new gravel traps added in as we follow Luke Browning up towards the first corner.
You've got to make sure you contact that first apex sweetly and not get too wide. The outside curve really affects the balance of the car, heading then up towards ring curve. Shortest route, because every turn of the steering wheel is exponentially generating drag because of the uphill nature of the straight. Browning hasn't quite got the tyre with him as he heads through the Remus hairpin. Second DRS zone of the lap is down to the tricky braking zone of turn 4, which, if you've not got the tyre fired up, is even harder than that for turn 2.
Here he comes in the downhill braking zone, down through turn 4 now, and you can see how close they get.
They really are pushing like crazy at the moment as well, and so they should be. This is their first official lap times on the overall session, so they've got to push in and keep it going. Vosin top at the moment on a 1:22.567. Then it's low. Then Wirtz jumps up into second position. So these are the first times for qualifying for the FIA Formula 3 Championship here at the Red Bull Ring. Ramos to the top, into Primozac goes third, Joshua Dufek to the top, Brown is going to go up there as well with a decent time, goes second fastest, 1:21.850. Solov, Goethe, Folleroli, no Leon to the top, 1:21.292. The times flashing up on the timing monitor with improvement after improvement after improvement. Solov to the top, 1:21.234, 58 thousandths to Noel Leon. Goethe's middle sector looks again very strong as he exits turn 10. The Red Bull Mobile, no track limits worries there with the gravel being added, and Goethe goes to the top, 1:21.071. So, finally, we are seeing the times that we were expecting. This is Sammy Medicalfa going a bit wide, but massively wide. And off the circuit went car 30 of Peter Wisnicki, who is down in last position overall, 30 of 30, as you can see on your monitors alongside us. And has come back on an outlap now. Browning up to the line. Ramos 23rd, into Primozac 21st, Dufek 20th, Steinshaw 7th, Browning 7th. Folleroli looking quick as well across the line of the Trident now. 12th to 3rd, 1:21, and no Leon again faster. 1:28.74 for him. Solov 6th at the moment. Timings have a glitch. Medakudif goes into second position as well. We look to Solov. Van Hopen goes 4th, Solov goes 3rd, 1:20.998, 11 thousandths, 9 thousandths separating him and Medicalfa. Mini coming up to the line now. Was championship leader dropped to 4th. Goes fastest by 5 thousandths of a second. 1:28.69. Dune 5th. Limbrand 6th. Gabriel Mini has provisional honours here. Now, is that the end of the first run of lap times here at the Red Bull Ring? Looks like it well and truly... what is going on here with that camera lens? There we go. Looks like it could be the end of that first session. So it's Mini, Leon, Megan Tuneth, and this is Bedrin, who's down in 22nd. Gets on the curves. I wonder if he's had his lap time deleted. Did he go all 4 wheels off? He's on the line. He's on the line. He should be okay with that one.
Such is the nature of the bump through the exit there. We have got Tramnitz losing a lap time through the exit of turn 6, but our race control screen relatively clean in comparison to previous years. Great performance from Noel Leon. He's found a rich vein of form, hasn't he, through the middle of this season. The driver that's 13th in the championship, but with 2 point scoring finishes to his name in the last 2 rounds. So great stuff from him. The payback for that early build lap, that early build process, is the tyre stays with you a long way through qualifying here. So we're going to see several laps of improvement on this same soft compound tyre.
We're seeing some drivers lower down the order, improving in the first sector. Nikita Bedrin, Kian Shields, Callum Boysen, Sanapol Inchapubazak likewise, and Mari Boyer.
Yeah, all great times as well, all doing massively great times.
He's improving, as is Max Esterson. But Noel Leon, as you mentioned, he's had really good form. He had a podium at Imola, did Noel Leon. Did win the race on the road, but got a penalty. So we know he can go out there and take podiums and race wins. So can this driver here, Dino Biganovic, and he can take pole positions as well. He was the first to do it this season and needs a good result here in qualifying. It was what hindered him last weekend.
Not an improvement in Sector 1 there for Biganovic, but Sector 1 is effectively only turn 1 of the 2 straights. It's a very short sector here, only 20 seconds. All of the action happens in this middle and final sector. The middle sector is where the time is to be made. Leon's making more of it with the purple middle sector. Let's see what he does across the line as he continues to try and improve. It is the top spot for Leon at this stage. All of the errors that we see are in that final sector, Chris.
Yep, Noel Leon goes fastest overall then with a 1:20.804. Mansell goes up to 11th, 1:21.163, but they are all bunched up together on the circuit. It's quite hard for the drivers to just sort of stay in contention with each other. Dunes P5, someone's kicked up the dust as well. Up towards the line. You can see the MotoGP layout there, that's sort of put onto the circuit. Dune 5th. Doesn't improve, loses out a lot of time. Remember last year, of course, they painted on the circuit as well, the track limits line. Still hasn't faded for Formula 1. That's, Tommy Smith in the Van Amersfoort Racing off the circuit, kicking up the dust, coming out exit of Rindt, turn 9, into Red Bull Mobile, turn 10. Just really struggling there, that last corner. Too fast entry. To get it wrong, you are penalised. I suppose that's the only good thing about having layouts like this. So, the first run's complete. Drivers are starting to come back into the pit lane for a change of tyres and system checks as well. And I like this run. It's nice and calm. Everyone sort of stayed in contention. No one needs to have a major differential. They've just kept it together nicely. So, into the pits, to the world feed.
Incidentally, earlier on in free practice, we did see Leo Fornaroli run out of fuel at the end of the session here. Often one which catches the engineers out of this, because so much of the racetrack is uphill. Fuel usage can be high. Find out you've used more fuel than you expected. Big full throttle percentage, all uphill. So just checking that engineers need to check that they can be right across the fuel usage here in Red Bull. We're
seeing everyone come in now just to spark up, and then we will see some tyre changes. Let's check in with what happened to Joseph Loke a little bit earlier in the session.
And it looks like he's going to make his way wide. It's a relatively deep divot. I'm going to call it a divot. I was searching for a word earlier on. I'm going to call it a divot on the outside of those final two corners that they filled with gravel. So when you get in there, it really makes the car bounce, and the lap is essentially over.
To the pits comes Mary Boyer, currently 15th. We'll certainly want to improve on that after such good performances last weekend, but very close once again, isn't it? 4 tenths down to Montoya. As long as you're within 2 or 3 tenths, you're in that top 12, which we reverse for the sprint race. Mary Boyer in the top 10 in the championship, not far away from being within that top 12.
No, winner at home in that sprint race last time out. Mary Boyer behind the wheel of the Campos machine, and he'll be looking to try to carry that strong form. Wasn't quite such a strong feature race for him, ending up 14th at the flag, but it was a strong performance to put him in the position to take that good sprint race victory. Vert fastest earlier on in free practice. Doesn't have a lap on the board, really, in terms of a really competitive lap so far, so has continued on to try to achieve that.
Let's see what he can do in this one. Okay, Charlie Verts coming through turn 4, up towards turn 6 now, the JBMotorsports driver. We've had impeding notice for Loke and Ramos. Home race for Verts, 6 tenths off Leon as he comes through the second sector and up to the final one now, Alex.
Yeah, needs to try to thread the needle through Rin Curve, the corner named after Robert Rin. Really got to nail that first apex and then attack the final apex through turn 10. Super accurate, nice stuff from Vert. Up to 40, not quite the dizzy heights of what he managed to achieve in practice. But even still, he'll be happy with that. He'll be in close proximity to a potential reverse grid on the second run. Now he needs to get in and out again on his second set of tyres. Although he may well be a little bit moving towards the limit on tyre allocation. He's one of those drivers who ran the soft tyre. Yeah, we'll see what they do. They can, of course, stop borrowing tyres from later on in the weekend, but and they probably will do at this stage, actually, to run them in qualifying and make sure they get a good qualifying performance, especially with Verts' position being outside that top 12.
Well, it would match his best qualifying of the season. Last time he started there, we saw him go on to finish in the points and in P5. So Charlie Verts doing a superb job so far. We'll just want to try and get in the top 12 if he can. Beganovic currently has the last of those 12 spots. Let's go through them then. It's Leon, Mini, Megatuniv, Solov, Dunn, Lindblad, Van Houten, Girth, Browning, Fornaroli, Mansell, and Beganovic. Let's follow Charlie Verts up to the line then. Can he disrupt that top 12? He looks like he might do so. Bit of a mistake through the final sector, maybe.
Quite the improvement that he would have wanted through the final sector. So often you overheat that rear tyre in the mid-corner of 6 and 7, and then it doesn't perform for you in the final sector. But there, Verts just running out of rubber, I think, at this stage. Needs to get in and out. Read the room, guys. You've got everybody else in the pit lane, but Verts obviously on a different strategy here, potentially trying to stay out of the traffic. We did wonder if anyone would do it, and there will be a rush now at the end of this session as the track continues to develop for all of the drivers to try to make the most of it, especially since they can run several laps in a row. So often you see drivers jockey for the early positions in the running so that their lap time eventually, after 2 or 3 laps, is not cost by driving ahead of them and losing yellow flags.
The solid qualifying for Gabriele Mini. Leo Fornaroli in 10th. Will really want to improve on this. Our championship leader, Luke Browning, likewise in 9th. So those two in danger of dropping out of the top 12. Meanwhile, Gabriele Mini, who sits third in the championship, up in second. Arvid Lindblad, as always, ever the consistent performer in qualifying, right there in the middle of the top 10. Then Dino Beganovic, 12, will want to find some improvements. Olli Goethe will be sitting in 8th place if the flag were to go out now.
Yeah, it's a fantastic place to go racing, isn't it? What a vista over the circuit here in the Styrian Mountains. Actually, you think of it as a new racetrack, Red Bull Ring, but it's incredibly old.
Yes.
Isn't it? Given the history of racing in this part of the world, formerly known as the 8-1 ring. Relative stability, its layout. You have to go quite a long way back to the road course here to find differences. It'll be a scary old place, that's for sure. But this gives us great racing, this layout with its 3 DRS zones and a great qualifying session in prospect. Now still with 27 cars, 26 cars within proximity of the second place. Fantastic section.
That shows you just how close it is in Formula 3 qualifying, and that is not unusual in Formula 3 terms, as they all line up, and we then get one of the best sights when they all go at exactly the same time.
It's like something out of David Attenborough film, isn't it? They all the gazelle leap into the fast lane of the pit at the same moment. But yeah, I'm always incredibly impressed by the clutch control.
Yes. It's all
it is something that gets better through the year. You normally get a couple of stallers early on in the year, and then by the time you get to the end, they've all perfected just the release into.
It's like one of the photographers, Leon.
The longer the wait, the more the chaos, the better for us.
And they say that because he's first. That's the nature for Leon. So for them, if nobody gets a decent lap in, and some early jumpers there, if nobody gets a decent lap in this final part of qualifying, that is no problem. Although I think they all know that someone will, and that's why they're out there on the second set of tyres.
So we are going to see some coming out early and others being patient. One of them being Olli Goethe, the Red Bull Junior, in the middle of your screen, as we can see them coming down towards turn 3.
So the trade-off here is you're giving up laps. The longer you wait in the pit lane, the more laps you're giving up. So you're trading laps on track for track position. The earlier you go out, the more temperature that you can build, the more laps that you can do. The later you go out, the more choice you have over where in the pack you run. And that's the difference.
Here we can see Mari Boyer currently sitting in 16th so far. He's been a consistent qualifier this season, and we spoke to him about qualifying yesterday.
We will try to go for the pole position, and to get it, I think warm-up is key in here, because as you said, it's a short track and everyone is looking for the slipstream, so it's hard to build good and enough temperature for the tires, so it will make more challenging, and also having a really good track position with a fast car, if it's possible, in front to get a good tow and take the benefit in all the straights, no?
7 minutes to go then here in qualifying for Formula 3. Everyone just sort of getting into the final runs, expecting 3 more laps they can do. Let's hear from Browning. Oh! Now it gets tasty. It is starting to rain. There is a very large black cloud above the circuit, and it is depositing water droplets at the top of turn 3 at Remus and all the way down through turn 1 as well. And Leon and Van Hopen have been noted for an unsafe release. So it's starting to rain. This is going to be a very important session in terms of getting a final lap time in arguably will be the coolest of the track conditions, the best of the track conditions before it gets too hot, so it gets too wet. You can't do anything. Here's Leon.
That will be nice.
Leon saying the same thing. All eyes now to the clocks to see if we're going to get this qualifying session sorted in time. 5:45 ticking down. The drama's everywhere right now. It's the tension. You just love to see it, don't you? Everyone's trying to force their way through. Austria's not the biggest race circuit on the calendar as well to try and do these slipstream runs as well, but you know, qualifying will give you that, I suppose. Bedrin's just come out of the pit lane. All cars are now out on the circuit, as you can see, and all on push lap times. So, who is it going to be? Top 12 get reversed, remember? That's for the race on Saturday. It's a sprinting Saturday featuring Sunday. So this sets pole for Sunday, and 12th position, which is currently Dina Boganovic, has pole position for the sprint race with the top 12 reversed. This Ziggy camera, which can go in 3 directions, is absolutely fantastic as well, by the way. It really is a piece of work. We want to get that your way to see, because it's on 2 separate camera lenses, so it sort of goes in a straight, then hooks on and goes back across. So, trailing new camera angles this weekend. It's another build-up lap. They're not pushing out there, which I thought they would be, with such limited time to go in this session. Let's catch up with what we've got with the live feed.
Driver's helmet, so it always looks like it's raining just that bit harder than it is.
Oh, traffic, 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 traffic!
No one wants to go round him.
Doesn't want to give the toe out.
Yeah, and
Browning.
so it's...
So now we've got this ridiculous traffic jam where we've got Browning in the 14, we've got in the 15 as well, coming through with Steinshaw. Neither of them want to go past, so now we've got 2 by 2, and the entire Formula 3 field have come to a shuddering halt. It looks like one for a safety car restart. The entire field bunched up together, and what this does is spoil everybody's lap times. Of all the stupidest things I've seen in motorsport, that is it, always. Why, oh why, do we have that same tactic, that same abysmal running order? I don't know. We're qualifying again here in Austria. That's it, yes, go this time. Rain coming in. Browning was a 2-minute lap time. He'll start another one now as he runs up towards turn number 1. DRS open as well. Just about gets it in okay. Thought he might have gone slightly too wide, but hit the nail on the head to perfection. DRS open, run up through the turn 2, up to turn 3 then at Remus. What's the time? He's up by 0.1, no, actually 19 thousandths of a second. He's up at Norleon's time. Advantage of a clear track, but everyone behind has got the toe. So Browning effectively becomes the guinea pig. Wouldn't have been a problem if he didn't back off, because there's cars ahead of him on the circuit in that 3rd sector. Santiago Ramos being one of them. Mari Boyer up on Delta times as well. Browning into Volt's curve. Slides it ever so slightly. He's 3/10 up on Norleon's time. So it tells me this might be the last qualifying time of the session, so this might be the conclusion. Everyone's flying off the circuit, left, right and centre. Browning up to the line. Will he take Norleon's position as pole sitter? He does, by half a second. Boyer goes into 10th. Steinshaw 7th. Smith goes to 12th. Shields goes 9th. Sophia Flörsch 18th. Mansell 2nd. Van Hopen 2nd. Browning still on pole position for High Tech. Ramos 18th. On board with Gabriel Mini in P5. Sliding Into the last corner. Rumble strips galore. Kicks up a bit of dust. Up to second. Fastest third sector of anyone. A 1:24.17 as the cam went upside down. Browning's improving in that first sector, despite not having anybody around. Tim Chaminitz into second. Dune 6th. Bedrin 8th. Steinshaw's got the first sector. 20.4. Browning's up by 60 thousandths of a second on his own time, but keeps running over the curbs. Steinshaw down by 8 thousandths in the second sector. Continuing to improve as one more with Browning. Launches into turn 9. The right-hander nearly goes off the track. A lot of the curbs are coming into the last corner. Tyres screaming for mercy. Out to the line. Surely the last one. He's down on his time, but it still is a time fast enough for pole. Montoya 5th. Steinshaw goes 7th. Shields 13th. Flörsch 15th. Their best qualifying of the year so far. Anyone else improving? Van Hopen 4th. Mansell 5th. Checker flags out. No, Leon doesn't improve. Ramos 11th. Leon Bedrin goes 4th. Solov Lindblad 2nd. Solov goes 9th. Goethe goes 6th. Forlaroni goes 8th. It's a flag falls. Mini's up to the line. Etterson 19th. Mini 4th. Loke in 26th. Zakazita 23rd. Interprover Zak 25th. Sutra 25th. Dufek 21st. I think Browning might have it. Dune in 10th. Mansell will have reverse grid pole for tomorrow's race. He's in P12 at the moment. Solov will be second. Front row for ART. High-tech cabin at the moment. Browning. 120.222. Bogdanovic. Not improving. Good sector 1 with a lot of traffic. Huge amount of traffic coming through. No sign that there'll be a change around. They will try. They always try. They never want to disappoint. Down in the second sector. It's going to take something miracle out of the last corner. Throws it in. Steps wide. Almost gets on the new gravel. Bogdanovic across the line. 5th. Goethe. 6th. Stays. Lindblad doesn't improve. No one improving on sectors. And now there's a yellow flag in sector 3. Luke Browning is on pole position for the Austrian Grand Prix Formula 3 round on the Sunday's feature race. Christian Mansell in 12th will have sprint race pole with Solov alongside him on the front row of the grid. Amazing session. Really is well done. Let's transfer it over to the world feed. Get their thoughts.
In the feature race on Sunday.
I think you got it. You're P1, mate. Come on! Tell me! Yes, boys! Oh, great job. That's what we get for sticking to the plan. Stick to the plan, boys. Great job. Car was bigger. We don't need that, so we don't need it!
Well, no one wanted to lead the field, but it seemed to work out for him. He leads the field on the road and on the timing screen. Luke Browning just sent it in the end. Yeah. Clear road ahead of him, no distractions, sectors together, and it paid off for him. And the young Brit finds his way to pole position. Arvid Lindblad with another great performance in this qualifying session.
That's P2.
Yeah, to be honest, the lap was pretty good.
Feature race winner from Barcelona finds himself on the front row of the grid again in Austria.
Really good job. Now this is why Charlie Burt's, maybe why we had yellow flags up briefly, just running wide coming through the final corner.
Bit too much speed in to the final corner of the racetrack. Up a little bit high, trying to hang on to it. There were plenty of drivers really pushing the limits. Joseph Loke then through the exit of turn 7, bouncing over that inside curve of turn 8.
And end. Arvid Lindblad, one of 2 Red Bull juniors on the front 2 rows, but none of them could quite beat the time of Luke Browning. It was incredibly close at the end. But Luke Browning, the Williams Academy driver, takes his first Formula 3 pole position and tapping the Williams Driver Academy logo there. We put faith in him, and he's repaying that faith with this championship charge and his pole position this weekend.
Browning does have a lap time deleted, but it's not the one which correlates to the pole position for him. So he will retain that pole position. Remarkably few, I say with relief, lap times deleted at the end of that session. So great work, it must be said, on the solution with regards to track limits that have been made here at Red Bull Ring. You must say that was a great qualifying session without those interruptions to our feeling for the end result.
It really was. What a session at the end. Changed all the time, didn't it? And great head-to-head battles out front, similar to Barcelona in a way, where we had an order and then it just got jumbled up again on the final flying laps. And any one of the drivers in that top 12 could have been on pole, including this driver here, Arvid Lindblad, who really is coming into form in these final couple of rounds.
Yeah, a run of 3 point-scoring finishes now, ending with a win, of course. That retirement in the first race in Monaco, but ever since then, he's just taken off. Arvid Lindblad. Let's see what's going on with Beganovic. He's going to get held up. He is.
That's Luke Brown.
In the middle of turn 9. And
I got impeded by Browning last corner.
I haven't seen that noted yet.
No.
On the race control screen, but we'll see if anything comes of that. Yeah, it could be that in relation. There's an incident with no cars noted.
Their hour-long session. Nearly done then here at the Red Bull Ring. We'll see you again shortly when we get ready for F2. Bye-bye.